Hi, I'm pleased to be joined by Joe Kristufek, senior racing analyst, producer, Mr. Do Everything at the fairgrounds. Joe, it's going to be a beautiful Louisiana Derby day afternoon here at the track, and we got 12 race programs, some terrific action. Let me ask you first, how many years have you been working down here at the fairgrounds?
I've been down here 8 seasons. This is probably one of the most memorable, from the snowstorm to the power outage to the tremendous racing that we've had, and that's pretty much been the norm year after year, particularly with our 3-year-old races. So super excited. I'm glad Mother Nature's cooperating.
We saw some really good. We were down here for the Risen Star last month and saw a big performance by Good Cheer that day. She's back today in the Fairgrounds Oaks, has a chance to solidify herself as a prohibitive, potentially odds-on favorite in the Kentucky Oaks itself. What's been your take on Good Cheer?
Is that more how good she is, or is that more kind of like just a product of the crop right now? I've kind of been a fan of Good Cheer and become more and more impressed by her as she's gone along. But, you know, is she as special as some of the great ones we've seen over the years? I think she still has to prove that despite the fact that she's undefeated. That being said, today, against this field, she should win. How much more is that going to tell us about how good she is? I'm not sure. So there's still several weeks before we hit the actual starting gate for the Kentucky Oaks, and a lot that could still happen.
We've got a field of 10 entered for the $1 million TwinSpires.com Louisiana Derby. Share some insights with us on that race.
Well, James, I'm here to tell you that it is a wide open race for sure. And if you ask 10 different people, you probably get 7.5 different opinions. There's a lot of different horses that could potentially win this. I think by watching the replay of the Risen Star and how spotty Vassimo ran that day, that he was the perfect candidate for blinkers. He's getting blinkers today. He was kind of forward, then he dropped back, then he came again, then he galloped out well. If you watched the race before, when he broke his maiden, when he won that race in Florida, they nudged him a little bit after the race in the gallop out, which I like to see, because they're saying to themselves, I want to see what this horse can do moving forward, because we think we're going to have a prospect that can go 9 furlongs and beyond. Mile and 3:16 should be within his scope. Same can be said for Hypnus. I think the distance is a big part of this, and there is quite a bit of speed signed on. Those are the 2 horses I'm going to be keying my wagers on.
That's ending. You're going to probably get some value with both runners.
I would think so. I mean, 12-1 and 10-1 on the morning line. How is the race actually going to be bet? I'm in wait-and-see mode. I think that John Hancock will be the favorite, but I'm talking about you're looking at a 3-1 favorite in a field of 10 with a lot of horses in that 5, 6, 8-1 range.
And that Caldera is going to take some money for my racehorse and Dwayne Lucas.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think he ran well last time. He did not get the run of the race, but it did look like he was going to get past Getaway Car in the final 16th of a mile. So whether or not he can seal the deal going 1 mile and 3/16, that's one of many questions that need to be answered.
And finally, we got 8 stakes, total 8 stakes on the 12 race program. Are there any other horses that you're excited about seeing today?
Well, I mean, I think the undercard races, sometimes go unnoticed. And I think if you're going to play the early pick 5, a horse that you can key on is St. Armand's Key for Joe Sharp. What a run he's been on en route to his first ever training title here at the fairgrounds over the last week or two, to put some distance between himself and Brad Cox. And St. Armand's Key last time out won an allowance race like a stakes horse. And he's got the rail, and he's not in a very strong race. That's race number 4. The other Derby today, not the Louisiana Derby, the Crescent City Derby with Louisiana breds, is loaded. It is a really competitive race. I like Norm Cassie's Classic Time, who he summered at Saratoga last year, did win up there, won a recent race here sprinting. He's built like a route horse. He's 8-1 in the morning line, one of many in that race that can win. I'm looking forward to the Crescent City Derby. Not quite as much as the Louisiana Derby, but it still rates up there pretty high.
Thanks so much for your insights, Joe. Hope you have a great Louisiana Derby day.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's fire up those Twin Spires accounts and take a nice fat withdrawal at the end of the day. That's the goal.
All right. Thanks again.